Do you set yourself goals and New Year resolutions only to find that you fail? You cannot stick to them. Well, in this video today, I'm going to share with you how you can actually stick to those goals that you set yourself. Hi, welcome to Dal TV, and on this channel I share everything to do with health and well-being. But so you don't miss out on the video, please remember to subscribe by hitting that bell notification symbol so that you can be the first to receive the new videos. So it's the time of the year where many of us will set some new goals and New Year resolutions. So this could be something based around our health and well-being. Perhaps you want to embark on a weight loss journey, or maybe you want to set goals to actually achieve an event this year. But what you will find, and statistics show, that most people will drop off from actually sticking to those resolutions even before the end of January. And this is because often we can set some goals that perhaps are a little bit unrealistic. So today I'm going to share with you goal setting and how actually to be able to stick to these New Year resolutions. One of the most popular New Year resolutions is weight loss. So often a lot of us will want to lose some weight, and this is what we actually set ourselves out to do in January. So we're all systems go. But often what many of us will do is set unrealistic goals. So for instance, you might want to lose a stone, 14 pounds in 3 weeks. Now, this can be done, but realistically, often a lot of us find that we can't achieve this. So my point to you today is, if you are going to set yourself a weight loss goal, be sure to set yourself a realistic goal. So short, medium, and long-term goals. Okay, so you want to be able to achieve this in a sensible time, because you've got to bear in mind that it took you perhaps a long time to gain this weight. So it's going to take you a bit of a while to lose it if you do it the sensible and healthy way. And one of the other tips I can give you today is that get yourself a journal, get yourself a food and exercise diary. This doesn't have to be anything fancy, just any kind of journal or diary will do, and document what you are going to actually achieve and when you've actually done it. And if you're cut for time, you can just put an emoji on there, smiley emoji when you've achieved something, or a frustrated emoji when you haven't quite hit your goals. But I want to tell you today, if you are actually embarking on a weight loss journey, then you need to give yourself a pat on the back, because that is a great commitment. And I wish you luck with that if you are going to do that. Set yourself a clear goal. So you need to be crystal clear on what it is that you actually want to achieve. So is it weight loss you want to achieve? Or do you want to gain muscle? Do you want to get flexible? Do you want to get faster? Because perhaps you have actually committed yourself to a charity fitness event. So you need to be clear on what your goal is. The second step is, how are you actually going to accomplish that? Now, this depends on where you are actually starting. So perhaps you are already training and exercising, so you can't really class yourself as a beginner. But if you are a beginner, I would highly recommend that you hire the services of a professional trainer, a personal trainer perhaps, just to get you started. I mean, even if you are quite used to exercising, but you have set yourself a new goal, this is a good idea, because then you can have a clear plan that you can stick to, and you're not guessing. So you might know a few bits and bobs to, exercises that you can do in the gym, but getting the help of someone who is qualified in this area will really give you an advantage. It will really help you, because you'll know exactly what you're doing is with correct form, and you will achieve your goals in a more happy and safe way. So as previously mentioned, you need to make sure that the goals that you set are realistic and attainable. You don't want to set yourself unrealistic goals, because you will be setting yourself up for failure. And if you fail, you're going to feel frustrated, and that's not going to be great for you. So I would say to you, make sure you set those goals that are realistic. So what are you actually trying to achieve? What do you want to achieve in the next month or so? And then afterwards, evaluate, what do you want to change in the following month? So you are actually constantly setting yourself short-term goals, and when you achieve those, you are going to feel great. Now, it's also very important to remember that you will have to change other aspects of your life, the most important being nutrition. So you need to look at, what is it you are currently consuming? What is holding you back? So you might have to let go of all that alcohol and all the processed food as well, which we know is not good for us. So make the changes that are required, because you have to remember, if it's a weight loss goal, you are not going to be able to do this with just keeping active and exercise alone. Nutrition is key. It's sometimes it's even more important than keeping active and exercise. So for instance, you could be skipping breakfast. Number one, that's the place to start. You've got to have a breakfast early in the morning, because what we eat in the morning is really important. It will fuel us for the rest of the day. And I've got loads of videos on this, and I'll link them up below this video so you can check out what you should eat and what you should do in the morning as well. This is important. So again, just to remind you, be careful of those goals that you set. Make sure that you are being realistic. So it's really important to have a time frame when setting goals, as previously mentioned in the points that I've just gone over. You need to see what it is you want to achieve by a certain date. And I find that it's better to actually write this down so you can actually read it and see, okay, am I achieving the weight loss? Am I achieving the goals that I want to achieve? Have I hit my targets? This is the same in most things in life. Even with business, you've got targets that you want to hit. And when you have them written down visually in front of you, you are very more likely to be able to achieve those. So again, write down what it is that you want to achieve. And if you need help with this, as mentioned before, you can hire a professional who will guide you every step of the way. And you don't have to have them forever. You know, once you feel like you are okay and you feel motivated and you're seeing results, then you can try and go alone. But it is important to make sure that you are measuring what you are actually achieving. Have a friend who can hold you accountable. So accountability is really important. Now, if you're actually training and exercising in a gym environment, then maybe you want to exercise with a gym buddy, a friend, someone that you can actually meet and, you know, have fun and talk about your goals and what you want to achieve and exercise together. And this is really effective. And I've mentioned this in previous videos before. And one of the reasons why a class environment does very well is because of the social aspect of it. And also you don't feel alone when you are trying to keep active and exercise. And even at home, you can have the music on, you can actually watch some sort of video on YouTube. You still will feel that you'll feel motivated. Now, the reason I say have a friend to exercise with is because they can hold you accountable. So if you are actually going to the gym, for instance, and you're meeting a friend, you are more likely to attend if you are going to be meeting somebody because you don't want to let them down. Unless you're the type of person who lets people down, but that's another video for another day. But generally, you do not want to let your friend down. And also, another good thing is if you are watching what you eat and you are being healthy, if you try and go for that sinful food, perhaps that donut or maybe that junk food, your friend should be the one to tap you on the shoulder and say, no, don't do that. So it's important that if you are going to exercise and you're the sort of person who doesn't like to train on your own, try and train with somebody else. It's really effective. Another goal that I'm sure a lot of you have set yourself is to reduce the stress in your life and worry less. Now, let's face it, life is such that we do have a certain amount of stress. Everybody does. So this could be a big stress or small stress. Simply being stuck in a traffic jam is quite stressful. Believe me, I know. So how do we reduce the stress in our life and why is it so important? Okay, first of all, for a lot of people, stress can go beyond just mild stress. It can actually manifest itself into anxiety and even in chronic conditions such as depression. Also, stress is linked to weight gain. So it can play havoc with your cortisol levels. You will find that you will regain weight. You will gain weight or you will hold on to weight, especially around your midsection. So it's important that you reduce stress. Stress can also trigger cravings. For instance, you might feel that you comfort eat. You might want to go for those foods that normally you don't go for, such as carbohydrates and foods that are laced with sugar and fat, all because of stress. And then what happens is you might find that your weight is going up. And then you get more stressed. And then you go for more food that you shouldn't eat. So it's a vicious cycle. It's really important that you do what you can to reduce your stress and worry. Now, there are a lot of apps available that will help you actually relax. Now, I highly recommend that you try to do something such as meditation or yoga. Take time out to relax. It doesn't have to be exercise. It could be something like going for a light walk, which will help because the fresh air is really good for your system. So have a look at this. This is a really important part of health and well-being. How are you currently managing your stress and the worry in your life? So one of the goals that I have set myself this year is to get more sleep. So perhaps this is something that you've looked at and thought, yes, I need to make sure that I get a better night's sleep or enough sleep. Research shows that sleep is absolutely essential for our well-being, for weight loss, for our mind, and generally in life. If you are lacking sleep, you may find that you are losing focus, concentration. You might not be able to run your day fully. You might find that you are forgetting things and your moods are up and down, or even worse, your cravings. You're craving those foods because of lack of sleep, and this is linked. So you might be craving foods such as carbohydrates and sugary foods to kind of pump you up. Or maybe you were drinking lots of caffeine just to keep yourself going during the day. It's important that you look at your sleep pattern and your sleep routine. So what are you actually doing an hour before you actually go to sleep? You need to limit your time and exposure to digital media, to exposure to screen time. You need to make sure that you are doing everything you can to get a good night's sleep. This is really important. Maybe keep a sleep diary and have a look at what it is that you're doing before you fall asleep, because it's important for your health. And if you're trying to lose weight, it's really important to keep those cortisone levels at bay. So you're hitting your weight loss goals. Everything is going hunky-dory. You are hitting those targets. But you need to make time to reward yourself. I always say it's really important to acknowledge what you've done and give yourself a little bit of a treat. So this does not mean gorge yourself on junk food and chocolates. I mean treat yourself to something nice, such as a weekend away or maybe a spa treatment. Just do something to acknowledge what you've done. You could even invest in some new fitness gear, some new fitness clothes. But you need to step back and think of all your achievements to date, because often we can kind of look at where we are going and what we've not achieved rather than look at what we have achieved. So take some time and give yourself a pat on the back for achieving what you have achieved so far. With all the goal setting, you need to remember that you need to employ patience. Nothing will happen overnight. This is the same with anything in life. Now, when it comes to your health and well-being goals, if you do have a setback, don't punish yourself. Because this is why it's so important not to set yourself unrealistic goals. Like training every single day, twice a day. You need to be realistic so that you can achieve these goals. But don't punish yourself if you don't achieve something, or you have a day off because perhaps you're not feeling very well. The most important thing to remember is you get back on track, because life is such that things happen. And you just need to make sure that you do carry on the way you have been carrying on, because you've put a lot of hard work into it. But more so, it's important to remember that setbacks are exactly that. They're just setbacks. So just get back on track. Be patient and be consistent. Prep and prepare wherever you can, so there's less room for failure. So now you know what to do to set those goals and hopefully achieve those goals this year. Now, if you really like this video, I would love for you to join me in the Wellness Academy, and all the details are below. And in the Wellness Academy, I share with you lots of resources and content to actually help you with your physical, mental, emotional health and well-being. And any of the questions that you have got, I will answer in the Academy. So please do join me there. And again, the links are below. I hope you enjoyed this video today, and I would love for you to like the video, give me a thumbs up, and also hit that bell notification symbol so that you can be reminded each time I upload a new video. You will find all the links and everything I discussed, reference and resources below this video. Share the video with your friends and family, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.